What happened here?
I came back. And I don't even want to open it, but I noticed that the freezer cold plates are thawing, which is bad. It means the power's probably off or something's not working. So I went to check the breaker first thing. Breaker was tripped. It's off. If I try to turn it back on, whoops. If I try to turn it back on, it immediately trips.
Yeah.
Which means that there's a short or the breaker's bad. So I immediately went to the back of it and I used my little power probe jobber. A very handy tool. So I got this power probe device, which lots of mechanics are familiar with. I don't know if a lot of people on boats are familiar with them. It's a great tool. I didn't mention this in our tools video. But you connect it to your battery, positive and negative, and I was able to basically feed power. If you press the positive button here, you can use this as the a bypass of the breaker. So I was providing power to the circuit through here. And I think this thing is good for up to like 10 amps or what is this thing? 100 amps. That doesn't seem possible. Oh, it measures 100 amps. Maybe 25 amps. That doesn't seem right either. But anyway, it should provide enough power to turn on that refrigerator, at least to the point that it would turn on the electronics. Maybe the compressor kicking in would make it break. But anyway, it trips right away just like that breaker does. So I know the breaker's not bad, or at least I know the breaker's not the only problem. So now I have to get to the refrigerator compressor and check and see what's going on in there, because I'm guessing that the compressor's probably bad. That would make the most sense. Or there's like a little control thing that also could be the issue. Our heat exchangers are under the salon seat here. So I've got it open. First thing I'm gonna do is just disconnect the power from it and then flip the breaker on and see if it trips. That'll tell me if the wire itself is the issue. So power wire goes in the compressor right here. Okay, so flip the breaker. I don't know what I'd prefer right now. If it works, that means it's an expensive issue. If it doesn't work, that means the wire is shorted somewhere and it's a difficult issue. Either way sucks. Okay. Expensive issue. I can live with that. It's better than digging through wires, I think. I don't know. Anyway, all right, so now I'm gonna try disconnecting the compressor wiring, which is, what is this? This must be the thermostat. This is the thermostat regulator, yep. And the compressor is wired, directly into this box. That's right, it's connected. So I gotta pull this box off. All right, I'll be right back. I've pulled that off before. It was really tricky to figure that out the first time. All right, so now I've got the control box disconnected. I mean, I suppose it could be, nah, it wouldn't be a shorted thermostat, wouldn't matter. I don't think. Next thing. Alright, so now I've got the wiring from the compressor disconnected, and just this, I don't know, what do you want to call this thing? The computer. It's pretty simple. Hold up, look at that PCB board in there with a whole bunch of complicated stuff that's probably completely unnecessary. Anyway, all right. And the survey says trips. Okay, so that could be good. It means it's probably not the compressor, which means it's probably that computer or something else that's connected to it. So the next thing I'll do is disconnect everything from it, minus the power. Take a picture. So I know what goes where. That's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about, the LED. There's like a, see that right there? That's a an indicator LED. Although interestingly, it's not on my refrigerator one. I don't know about that. Maybe it only blinks when there's an issue? Alright, let's see. It's the computer. But guess what? I saw these on sale by themselves at the store just a day ago. So I gotta go buy one of these. Probably like $200. It says pre-fuse required. I guess that's the breaker in this case. It'll be interesting to take this apart and see what went wrong. All right, so I found it on Amazon. $173 on Amazon. So let's go see what that's gonna cost in the marine store here in St. Martin. I'm thinking about this and the question begs, why did this go bad? I hate the idea of putting another one of these in there and burning it out and finding out that the compressor is a hard short and that's what made this thing burn out in the first place. But preemptively replacing the compressor seems a bit much also. So I think I'm gonna bite the bullet and just stick another one of these in there. I thought about just swapping it with the one from the refrigerator because I have two. There's gonna be one in that box that's exactly the same. I actually replaced it previously. The boat came with one that was bad actually. The refrigerator was not working. If I recall correctly though, that wasn't tripping the breaker, it just wasn't turning on, and I think I was getting a flashing LED. So, everything involves a little bit of gambling, I guess. Let's see what's in this thing. I decided it makes sense to take a look in here before just going to buy another, what I'm guessing is probably going to be $300 one. I bet you it's a shorted relay in here. Another one of the surface mounted relays. Yeah, those MOSFETs look like they got pretty hot. Maybe that's what it is. You see that discoloration in there? It's a little yellow. So I guess they're solid state relays. There's no Interesting. Pretty simple device. Still don't understand what all the processing is for. Seems like it'd be pretty easy to make a device that does what this does. It's just a thermostatic relay. That's really all it is. I don't understand why this has to be so complicated. Well, nothing glaringly obvious. I found the mother load, but yeah, that's about what I expected to see. $300 or $263, but now I gotta figure out the parts. So there's an N0650, and then also there's another N650. There's another one in here somewhere. These are all 650s. There's one here. There's also a 101 N03. The 340, I don't know. So I don't know what the difference is. I'm gonna go check another store. See if I can find a better price too. So the parts numbers don't match exactly, which isn't exactly surprising to me. It was Island Waterworld, by the way. That's where I just was, St. Martin. So the parts numbers don't match because they were replaced at some point. And I actually remember this now because when I was replacing the other one, when we first got the boat, I remember it being a different part number, but it was different. Yet another part number from what I just saw in there. So who knows? What I did notice is it doesn't have that heat sink attached to it anymore. So I'm guessing they probably switched to an actual contact relay inside the device instead of using a MOSFET style, a solid state relay. Why they wouldn't have done that in the first place, I don't know. But yeah, so that's good news. It means that the new ones will probably last a lot longer. Now I'm gonna go to Budget. They usually have a slightly better deal. We'll see. I love my new outboard. Yeah, it's 2-stroke. It's a little dirty, a little less fuel efficient, but man, it's fast and it is just gonna work. I'll show you under the hood someday, because man, the simplicity of this compared to a 4-stroke. And given we're probably headed to South America after this, I don't want to be searching for Honda 4-stroke parts. This is weird with one hand. It's actually a pretty good price for these folding chairs. It's insane what people spend on folding chairs. Man, boat stuff is just expensive. So no luck at Budget. So we're back to Island Waterworld. They were very confused here in regard to the part. I mean, they knew what it was, but they don't have a very good way of looking up parts, I guess. They were like referencing eBay. Not very reassuring. So, back to Island Waterworld. I couldn't really get a definitive answer, you know, even doing my own research on what the difference is between the different model numbers, so I just went with the one that was $40 cheaper. When I did actually find a PDF, but I didn't dig into it too much. It looks like they're different grades of equipment. Like there's one that's automotive, and then another one that's AIP or something like that. I don't know. Automatic industrial performance. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't know. I'm just making shit up. But yeah, so we'll see if it works. I think I'm definitely going to order another one of these from Amazon because I found them for like I said, 170 bucks versus 270 bucks. This is a good part to have if you've got Dometic refrigerators on your boat or in your car. Apparently, I think they're in Ford Flexes, and I think I saw somebody commenting about a Lincoln, like in the center console. I guess some cars have little refrigerators in them. Kind of cool. So if you notice, this one has that heat sink on it because it's using MOSFETs. This one has the child-proof screws, so you can't easily get inside it. But I'd be willing to bet, can't really see in there. They definitely did something to make the switching more efficient. They got rid of a lot of heat in the system, because obviously if you get rid of cooling fins, it means you've gotten rid of heat. So this will probably be more efficient. So that's nice. Nice little perk. All right, let's see if it works. My wife wanted to know if I needed a hat. This way I wouldn't be embarrassed by my hairdo. But I like it. I think it's character. Actually, I lost my hat in the dinghy ride, and then I got free blowout. Take me as I am. Oh. It's installed. The moment of truth. Ha ha ha. Well, it didn't trip. Oh, the fan turned on. Will the compressor start? Oh yeah, it's running. It's very quiet. Back in business. And why I'm gonna buy another one of those things. 2 in there. I've already replaced both of those now. But I have a 3rd one under the sink here because I've got the optional cockpit fridge, the beer fridge. Not that I need my beer critically to be cold, but it is a backup refrigerator, and if we're going west, I definitely want that to be working well. So I'm gonna check it now to see if it's been replaced by somebody else in the past, see if it's got the new part or the old part, and if it's the old part, I'm gonna get another one. So wouldn't you know, it's a new one. So fortunately I don't have to replace that one. It's N0212, which I think is also, so I have 3 separate model numbers for these things, but that one doesn't have the heat, oh my god, the cooling fins. So that means it's got a more modern set of electronics on the inside, so I'm pretty confident in it. And I'm feeling it, and it's not very hot back there on the back of it where it would be hot from those cooling fins. Compressor's pretty warm on this thing. I mean, compressors, if you could touch a compressor, it's pretty good. It's a little dirty. Maybe I'll clean it up a little bit and make it look pretty. So, our refrigerator thermostat, one of them, went bad. It's what turns out to be called a capillary thermostat. They function based on the expansion and contraction of air based on temperature. Really simple, just controls a diaphragm that controls a relay. I've opted to go with a digital thermostat. They're actually cheaper, and I don't know, it offers me a readout display that'll let me see what temperature the refrigerator is actually at versus just a knob. So let me show you what the old thermostats looked like and what the new ones are going to be. So I am down in the port side hull and the aft side of the boat in the cabin, and this is the electrical panel of the boat. I'm kind of doing some work, some other stuff right now, so stuff is kind of hanging around, but the thermostats are tucked up in there. Kind of ridiculous. And as you see, there's no readout or anything like that. You just turn the knob and that's it. You just kind of guess. There's no really good temperature control with those, or I'll call accurate temperature control with those. Not particularly accurate. So once I put them digital, then I'll be able to, you know, see exactly what the temperature's at. Yeah, so I found these guys on Amazon, and they were really cheap. I think it was maybe 15 bucks, something like that. Not much. And I think they're gonna work out pretty well. I'm gonna mount them right here on my panel. So I'll have one there for the freezer and fridge, which are right down below. So it'll be easy and intuitive figuring out which one controls what. Got it. Yep. So refrigerator's on the right. It's giving me an error because I don't have the thermostat hooked up yet. Let's see if the freezer works. Good news, all right. So the easy part is done. I have the power to the thermostats. But now I have to get the temperature sensor, I guess also thermostat, temperature, I don't know, whatever. I think the thermostat is actually what controls things. But anyway, so I gotta get that sensor into the refrigerator and the freezer, and then I have to hook up the relay, and I'm done. All right, so now it's time to clean out the inside of the refrigerator so I can get the thermostats wired in here. I was gonna lie and just say that it was perfectly clean, but I figure I'll show you how disgusting it really is. And it doesn't take too long for it to get like this. So yeah, that's what it looks like in the bottom of our refrigerator. We have this thing that we keep in there that just keeps stuff from freezing and sticking to the bottom of the fridge, basically. I don't even know what this really helps with. It doesn't do a whole lot. I just got done scrubbing this outside because it was absolutely disgusting. But yeah, I'll have no shame. There it is. So I'm gonna scrub that out now. So the drain is plugged, but not to worry. Copper wire. If you watched the tools video, you know I said that this is truly one of the most valuable things to have on a boat. I think in life in general. I never would have thought, man. This really did just come from when I was replacing my ground rods at my home in Florida. And I just had it as scrap. Man, this is some useful stuff. So I think we could all agree that's a step in the right direction. If you look back here, you can see I've already pulled out, I guess what you would call the thermostat. In this case, it's not a thermostat. It's a capillary. A capillary sensor. It's just a tube of copper that's sealed at the end that probably has some kind of inert gas in it that expands and contracts with the heating and cooling of the refrigerator and actuates a relay on the other end. So what I'm going to do is use this as a fish. I'm actually going to cut this off, and I'm going to attach the end of the digital thermostat sensor, whatever. I don't know what these things are called. I should probably look that up. Temperature sensor? Is that all it is? I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, so I'm going to pull the opposite end of the wire through, you know, the part that attaches to the thermostat. I'm going to, you know, tie it on here, tape it on here. I'll probably tape it on and pull it through. And then I should be able to just simply attach that to the thermostat, which is installed up here. And then, boom, I'll be on my way to having a digital thermostat for my marine refrigerator. All right, so there's some question in my mind about where I want to install the thermostat temperature sensor. I'm gonna Google that eventually. The existing ones were tucked up into the chill plate, which is what makes the refrigerator cold. It's where the heat exchanging fluid goes. So look, the original thermostat went up into here and it sat behind this ice. It sat right on the edge of what you can see here. There's a hole, and the thermostat sensor thing was right up in here, which, I don't know, it just doesn't really make sense to me. Why would you want your temperature sensor to be on the chill plate? Wouldn't you want it to be sensing the temperature in the fridge itself versus just the temperature of the plate? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mount it up under here, more in the middle of the refrigerator, and it'll give a more accurate representation of what the actual temperature is in the refrigerator. I mean, I suppose that it didn't really matter so much because the original one was analog, so it's not like you got a temperature readout. You just had a knob and you kind of had to guess and play with it until you got it to a point where you liked it. But still, I would think that for switching your refrigerator on and off, it would work better if it's sensing the temperature, the more ambient temperature in the refrigerator versus right next to the cold plate. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. If anybody's got any opinion on that, I'd be really interested, honestly. Here's the freezer side and the capillary sensor. Just so you understand exactly where it goes. Just tucked up in there like that. And it's just a coil. That's it. And here's my new sensors that I'm gonna mount on this side here. All right, so here we are underneath the refrigerator and freezer for that matter. There's the old thermostat adjustments. So I've already pulled one through. Now, yeah, see, this is the old one here. So let's see. Do you think the wire's gonna come through with it, or is it gonna come off? Ugh. I hate fishing wires. Ah, yay, I win. All right, so that's good news. That's good, because I didn't want to cut a hole or anything in the sealant in there. I wanted to leave it intact. So it's good. It's still got a good seal, hopefully. And you can see some moisture comes down through there, but that's kind of inevitable because, yeah, you've got heat exchange going on. Probably throw some zip ties on that and clean it up, keep it up there. All right, so next I got to pull these guys off and attach the new wiring. So the situation is this. We've got two compressors, we've got two thermostats, we've got a refrigerator and a freezer. They both require, well, each one requires a temperature sensor, power, and a relay output that goes to the compressor. So I've got to get wiring. I already did the power wiring, which I showed you already. But now I've got to run to those two holes there. I've got to run wiring for that relay and temperature sensor. So it actually goes behind this wall here down to here. Conveniently, I've already run a chase wire, so I can just use this to pull the new wiring through. The wire I'm going to use is 18 gauge speaker wire with 4 conductors. So now I'll have a single wire for each thermostat and refrigerator going up through this chase. So I'll use red and black for, I guess I'll use red and black for the relay, and I'll use white and green for the temperature sensor. I mean, that's how I've always separated wires out, because I'm an AV guy, and that's typically how you do it. You do the red and black together, white and green together. White will be positive, green will be negative, red positive, black negative. So yeah, that's intuitive to me, so that's how I'm going to do it. So I gave everything a little while to, you know, come down to temp, and looks like I managed to get it right. So yeah, see, look at that, nice and chilly. I call that success. So it's been about a week and a half since I installed the digital thermostats for the refrigerators, and I must say I am more than pleased. I am shocked with just how much the efficiency of the system has gone up. I wish I had tracked just how much power each refrigerator and the freezer used before doing this conversion, because I mean, I would gamble on 20 to 30% increase in efficiency. So if you've got one of these things, and I'm sure that power is an issue on a boat, because it always is, I would highly, highly recommend doing this. It is remarkable just how much power we have managed to save. We used to wake up with about 50% battery. Now we wake up with 65, 70% battery. So it is a worthwhile investment of time and money, which really isn't much, because it's like a $16 part and some wire. So yeah. Hey guys, don't forget to subscribe and like and make some comments. Say something stupid. Why don't you? I don't really care. It just helps the algorithm. And our links are below for the products of these thermostats and stuff that I use.